Welcome to Personal Mastery Training. I'm your host, Alvin Brown, former world-class athlete turned entrepreneur and consultant. Join us as we learn from guests who have conquered their inner battles and share their journeys to success. Get ready for inspirational masterclasses and thought-provoking strategy sessions to fuel your path to personal mastery. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Personal Mastery Training, the podcast. I'm your host, Alvin Brown. This time, typically I'm with my alliance. This time I want to dive into a strategy episode, so I'm going solo for this episode. Today, we're diving into a topic that touches every single one of us: adversity. No one's immune to it. Let's call this episode Broken or Built. The power of getting from your challenges. We'll all face it in big ways and small challenges throughout our lives. Every one of us. It's not an if, it's a when. And often, when we're in the thick of it, it feels like it's going to swallow us whole. But here's the thing. Adversity has a dual nature. It can either break you or make you. Think about that for a moment. Have you ever looked back at really tough times in your life and realized that despite the pain that you went through, and for some of us, it takes a little longer to get here, but despite the pain, you actually came out somewhat stronger. Sometimes much stronger. But again, this takes time for many different reasons and at the levels that the adversity hit you. More insightful, whether you come out more insightful, more resilient, more empathetic, there's lessons to be learned. That's what we're talking about here today. The profound difference between just getting through a challenge and truly getting from a challenge. There are two paths to adversity. When adversity strikes, it presents us with a choice. Even if it doesn't feel like it at the time, we can either let it overwhelm us, allowing the stress, fear, and the perceived failure to chip away at our sense of self, leaving us feeling defeated, broken, and perhaps even bitter after it's done. This is the path adversity takes, and it can break you. It leaves you feeling like a victim of circumstance, unable to see a way forward. But here's the path. Here's another path to consider. A more challenging one initially, because as I said, when you're going through it, it's tough to get to this place. But ultimately, it's far more rewarding. This is the path where adversity makes you. Instead of crumbling under the pressure, and trust me, I have been there. Instead, you're going to choose to engage with it, to embrace it. And again, this is not easy. This is where you ask questions to learn and to adapt. You don't just endure the pain and get through it. You choose to let it help you to evolve. Now, why getting through it instead of get from it? Why get from it instead of getting through it? It implies survival. Getting through it implies a sense of survival, just getting through, just making it to the other side. And while survival is certainly important, it often means we've missed a massive opportunity for growth. I remember during the pandemic, I saw a signage that I was sitting at home, couldn't work. All my income was pretty much dried up because of the profession I was in. And it said, never let a chaos go to waste. And that really got me thinking. See, here's the thing. When we simply aim to get through something, we're often just holding our breath, gritting our teeth, and hoping it ends. We might even be unconsciously clinging to the narrative that we're suffering, which only deepens our feeling of being stuck. But when we shift the mindset from getting from a challenge, everything changes. Remember that sign I saw, never let a chaos go to waste. It got me thinking, what does that even mean? Never let a chaos go to waste. We start to see the difficulty not as an obstacle to be avoided, but as a teacher. Once again, I'm letting you know that if you're going through it right now, it's not easy to do this. It's easy to say, but it's not easy to do this. But it's beneficial if you can shift your mindset to this. We begin to, in this state of shifting, we begin to ask, what is this situation trying to show me about myself right now? Truly personal mastery. And then you ask yourself, what resources, internal or external, can I tap into? What new skills can I develop here? How can I adjust my perspective to find a solution, or at least a way to cope with it and find greater peace? This is about actively engaging with the discomfort, analyzing it, chopping it up, and extracting the wisdom, the lessons, and the newfound strength that adversity has to offer. It's about recognizing that challenges are not roadblocks. They're often catalysts for profound personal transformation. Again, I acknowledge that what you're going through, like what I went through not long ago with the passing of my son, it's not easy to think that way right away. But somehow you have to find a way to get there. Now, let's talk about building hardiness and resilience. Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal is heated, pounded, stretched, and cooled. It's an intense process. But what it makes the blade strong, flexible, and sharp. Our experiences with adversity can be exactly like that. Each time that we face a difficulty and choose to learn from it, we're essentially tempering our own inner steel. This process builds what we call hardiness and resilience. Hardiness is that strong mental attitude, the belief that you can influence the outcomes of your life. Remember, we're 50-50 creating our life. There's parts you can't predict, but the 50 you have, this is going to build you. And challenges are a normal part of existence. No one can avoid it. Resilience is your ability to bounce back, to adapt in the face of setbacks, and to continue moving forward. When you've actively gotten from a challenge, you're not only overcoming that specific hurdle, but you've also built a mental, emotional muscle. You've built on it that will serve you in every future challenge. You gain confidence, not just in your ability to survive, but in your capacity to thrive amidst difficulty. You realize that you're capable of more than you thought, that you possess an inner strength you might never have otherwise discovered when you take the easy road. Let me go to a story that inspired this podcast episode. So, a few months ago, we went to my family went through a major loss with my son. And people ask me how you're doing, and I say we're processing. We don't know what the next day will be, what tomorrow will be. Father's Day is coming up, Mother's Day, his birthday. We don't know. But it was a real traumatic loss for us. So recently, my wife, who owns a dance studio, when she goes to work on that dance studio, prepping for the dance recital, the exams, and anybody in the industry knows what this takes, the preparation to get through this. Dance competitions, recitals, exams, you name it. And she's head down, deep in, hours and hours, copious amount of hours on this. So at the recital, all of a sudden, she's got everything set. All the dancers coming out one right after the other, nice flow. The music stops. There's an interruption in the flow of the music, and there's dead silence. Typically, in the past, she would freak out. This would be a moment for her to basically go off track. It'll just really upset her. This time, she said, "You know what?" I walked right over to the stagehand. I said, "Okay, you do this, quietly and calmly." I looked in my phone, she said, and I said, "Play this one." And everything, there was about a dead silence because I was in the audience. There's a silence for about 20, 30 seconds at the most. And the music continued and she flowed right through. After she said, I would not have gone through that way if I didn't have something greater that I went through. This is nothing. In the past, it would have been something. So again, this is the way she was used. The getting from to now affect what would typically be something that threw her off. She's now that much stronger because now there's levels to what stress is. So how do we get to this strategically? How do we get to this position of learning to get from our challenges? Here we go. Number one, acknowledge and process your emotions. It's not about ignoring the pain or ignoring the experience. Allow yourself to feel what you feel. Suppressing emotions only delays the process. Don't dwell there indefinitely. Acknowledge, then move when you can, move to understanding. Number two, ask, what can I learn? This is a pivotal question. When you're in a tough spot, shift your focus from why is this happening to me? Because there's actually not even a reason to why. To what is it trying to teach me? Look for patterns, new insights about yourself, others, or the situation. Number three, identify your resources. What strengths do you possess? What can you reach out to for support? What tools or knowledge do you have that might be useful? Don't underestimate your own capabilities or the power of your support network. See, we got through what we got through a massive network of people, and now we've turned it into pain, into purpose. Reframe the narrative. That's number four. This is crucial. Instead of telling yourself a story of victimhood, this always happens to me, quote unquote, the generalizations, I can't handle this, giving up. Actively work to reframe it. Tell yourself a story of growth, of learning, of becoming stronger. For example, this is tough. However, I'm learning to be more resilient. This challenge is showing me how I need to grow. That's number four. Number five, take small, consistent actions. You don't have to solve everything at once. Break down the challenge to smaller, manageable steps. Each small victory builds, stacks momentum, stacks from each other. And the final one, six, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. You're human. And the challenges are difficult. They're arduous. They can be arduous. See, for me, being kind to myself is I've got a big task list that I want to do, but now I've put everything back and it can wait. I have to take care of me in order to produce my best work later. And when it's time, on my time, I'll be back and I'll be better than when I started. So those are 6 steps you can do to build this concept of getting from it. So here's the deal. The journey of personal mastery isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about transforming them. It's about recognizing the moments that test us, that are most often the very moments that have most to teach us. Don't just aim to survive the storms of life. Learn how to navigate them, how to grow stronger from the winds and the waves and don't get through it, get from it, the chaos. How do we get the best from that? Remember, you shouldn't just get through your challenges. You can and you will get from them. And in doing so, you'll discover a depth of strength and resilience you never knew you possessed. All right, so that's it for this week's strategy episode. If you know someone who's going through it right now, they can get something from this podcast that they can apply in their life, please share, like, subscribe yourself, share it. This might be the one thing that somebody needs that you're thinking, I'll just keep it to myself or not share it. Please share it. Someone might need it. All right, until next time, be dedicated to your personal mastery. It's worth the effort. If I can help you out, connect and jump on a compatibility call for the right people. We're ready to go to work. All right, until next time, peace and love.